that's why you see that increase in number. Now, if I just had hard copy applications, you had to come in, pick up an application, fill it out, and turn it back in, I wouldn't have that volume. That would be less. But our market, I mean, from our standpoint, we're able to go out and get more highly qualified candidates to be interested in applying for our district. Yes.
Do you know are there websites out there that have postings
Yes.
for the state of Illinois?
Yes. Illinois Association of School Administrators, IASA.org. You go on, has anybody used that site yet? Yeah. Job Bank. We post everything on our Job Bank through there. I would tell you, most states, most schools in the state of Illinois do. That's the big one. The Illinois Principal Associations, IPA has one also that can link you to that too. Yes.
I was a job bank with my high school principal's been kind of helping, and he said look on there, but there's not very many posted. So it's like,
Yeah.
what are the schools posted?
Yeah, great question. You want it March. And the reason why is because teachers are up for renewal in March, and boards take action on renewing or not renewing teacher contracts at that time. And they kind of get an idea where budgets are falling at that time and can project some of those things. We can do that a little more in advance in our district. But I would say right when these job fairs hit, folks, this is when it gets hot and heavy. The last week of February into March, mid-March. Some districts, every district is different. Some will start hiring in June. But I was in a district that did that before. Now I'm in a district we hire in November. I can tell you that in the next 2 years in our district, we're going to have 48 teachers retire. 48 teachers, 53 if you count administrators, retire from our district. And that's at a 2-year window, 08, 09. We're starting to interview and recruit for those positions in the fall of next year. It's because it's a big vacuum for us. We have 276 certified teachers in our district. That's just teachers. We have a little over 500 employees in the district. So, we're starting that 2-year window where we go out and do that, but we'll market it that way also. Yes.
So like if they don't post until March, do you say just like wait until they post their jobs that they have open, or just go ahead and send it to school?
I'd send it. But also look when they post it too. But send it. Because a lot of times they have, by contract, they have to post their positions internally for X amount of days. Usually it's 10. It's usually the norm, 10 days internally first, and then someone internally can bid on it by contract. And then if they offer the position not, let's say they do, then they have to post that position for 10 days. So sometimes it's that domino effect with the internal postings of positions before it really gets external. But if you have your credentials in by that time, you should be okay. Great questions. Any other questions with that? Yes?
I don't know if you said this, but when you post your application online, how long does it stay online there?
Yes. Yeah, it's a great question because I had that question. That was one of the questions I had when we went to the web-based system. What we do is we keep it for a 12-month period, and then we never lose them. After that 12-month period, you'll get an email saying it's a 12-month period up. You want to reactivate your application, update it anytime. When you fill out an application with us, you develop a code word, and anytime you want to go in there and change that, you can. You're using that password. And you'll get an email, do you want to reactivate or update your application, yes or no. And if you do yes, then it's activated again for your 12-month period. If you do no, if you mark no, it's inactivated, and we keep it in an activated file. But you'll be notified if you want to activate or not have or rather have your application on file anymore or not.
Can you land and change your application online? If we're still in the process, we don't have some of our test scores back, our transcripts are complete, those type things. I know in the Department of Special Ed, we are not, we can get reference letters from our instructors, but not until after midterm.
Right.
So there's requirements that there were a couple of jobs that were on Matt Toon's site for Special Ed and taken off now, but if you want to make those amendments, but you want to say, hey, I am interested in this, but I need time to get these things together, go ahead and do it?
Yes, yeah, you could, again, you'll have that password, you go and make those amendments anytime, but what I would do is follow up a phone call with that office and let them know that, that's occurring. And what the secretary does, we can make notes on those online applications to the right-hand side in our file, in our database. Called on this date, still waiting for references due to special ed instructors won't do after midterm. And we make those notes right next to the online application, right on the web-based application.
I attached actual documents
Yes.
that said those things.
Yep.
that, I'm
Mhm.
waiting for full
Yep.
transcripts, because I applied to Mattoon also,
Yep.
but,
Yep.
just waited, I applied in November when I didn't
Mhm.
have a lot of this information,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and that's, those are the things that if you put out there with the application process, you can always go in and update. And there were some internal moves with that too that happened after that, so, and some number issues that we were messing with, so. But yes, anytime you can change that, and it should be on those web-based applications. Before I, any questions over here? Am I missing any folks that wanna? Okay, one question right here.
I was just going to ask, because a lot of us have a portfolio on live apps. Do you recommend having a hard copy of the portfolio to bring to them in the newsletter?
I can go either way, in the sense of, we can link it to your application, put it in there and we can link right off of that. Or if you bring a hard copy in, that's fine too. Either way. And then see, the nice thing about that, a lot of times you don't want us to keep, if it's a hard copy portfolio with a big binder, you don't want us to keep that. But if you have a copy of a disc that costs 17 cents, we can keep that then, or a link to a website. We're able to go to that any time, and a lot more people can have access to that. And what we would do with that, if you brought a CD in, we would download it and link it with your application file, so administrators could access that from our database. Yes.
About the portfolio, from your perspective, what is something you look, what are a couple of things that you look for in a good portfolio?
That's a great question. A good portfolio, I think, is, like anything, it's a snapshot to sell you a little bit more, and for us to gain information about who you are as a teacher, an educator, an instructor. I would tell you that any kind of work samples that you've done, as far as, some people do have video clips of lessons they've instructed on there, which is fine. If they've done some of that, have ask your teacher to do a video of you instructing a lesson. Any kind of pics that you've had of some bulletin boards or other interactive things that you've done is always good. Evaluations from your teacher, from your cooperating teachers. That's great to have. Any letters that you get in there. Any examples of lesson plans that you've developed that are aligned to the standards, good to have on there that we get to see. Also any awards or recognitions that you received, again, that you could put on there, certificate, endorsement, just anything like that. Scholarships, good leadership roles that you had, like I said earlier, anything that can denote those kind of activities are nice. And people, we look at those things. We have found in the last couple of years that we have a hard time in our district, and I know most districts do too, finding people that want to be part of activities outside the regular school day, because it's time consuming. And everybody hears the headaches about coaching and sponsorships and the nightmares and the liability and the risk. So it's hard for schools now to find people to do those things. And so those are any of the interests that you have in those areas too is always helpful. Getting your foot in the door also sometimes. Yes.
With the coaching thing, is it, I don't know how to ask this, but is it bad to maybe say, like, I was asked in my interview if I'd be interested in coaching golf because I played for so long. And my first year, I really want to focus on being able to teach the students and maybe assistant coach, and then take over coaching from there. Is that bad to say that to them and let them know that?
No,
that
my
this year you
my
wanna
eyes would
focus
perk
on
up if you said that, because then you're telling me your primary interest and purpose about teaching, and that's what we want. It's not to say that sometimes you look for those positions to fill, but we don't. For example, in our district, we don't require our new teachers to do any of those extracurricular activities, and usually don't. Now, if they want to, and it's there, fine. But we discourage that a little bit because we want them to concentrate on that first or second year, really concentrating in the classroom. But I think the way you handle it is great. I'd be interested in that. I think that's a wonderful response. I would be interested in some assistant coaching positions at this time, but I really want to concentrate that first year, getting in the classroom, really getting to know my students, my curriculum,